Namaste, everyone, and welcome to today's yoga session. Let's begin, as always, in a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross legged or you may place one leg over the other. Adjust your sit bones, allow the spine to become straight. You can lift your shoulders up, back, and down, allowing the chest to open up, gently touching the tips of the fingers, forefingers, and the thumb. And relaxing the facial muscles, close your eyes. Take a few moments and allow the body to settle down. See if you can bring all of your attention to what's happening inside the body. Notice the pattern of your breathing. Scan your body quickly and see if there are any muscles that you're unconsciously tightening. With the upcoming exhalation, try to relax them. We are neither engaging the muscles nor keeping any part of the body passive. We are keeping all parts of the body active by bringing them inside the field of awareness. So, in other words, become aware of your whole body. You can just take your attention to different parts. Once you've made sure that the body is relaxed and active, the spine is straight, bring all of your attention to your breath and see if you can allow the body to fall into a natural rhythm. The physical body might be in stillness, and yet, as the breathing happens, there might be some movement in the body. Maybe the chest is rising and falling. Maybe the belly is relaxing and opening up. And beyond these subtle movements, can you feel a sense of stillness, calmness, silence, spaciousness pervading the body? Now take a few moments to acknowledge how you are feeling mentally, emotionally, energetically. At the level of the mind, there might be thoughts, there might be more thoughts, there might be lesser thoughts. There might be thoughts of a certain nature which are accompanying a certain energy. And you might be able to notice this connection, the thoughts that occur in the mind, and the accompanying energy or the emotion that we feel somewhere in the body. See if you can bring a deep, genuine acceptance to whatever the state of mind is in this moment. You can even say in your mind, I allow this moment to be as it is. By bringing more allowance, more openness, dropping any resistance towards the reality, we slowly, internally align ourselves to the flow of life, and the burdens that we carry in our mind, we can put them down, knowing that life is taking us where we are meant to go. Can you sense a deep knowing that whatever is happening in the external circumstances is simply something that has arisen, something that is meant to pass away, only for something else to arise again and then pass away again? Why resist it? This way, using the breath, using presence or awareness to move from the background to the foreground, slowly we align ourselves to the present moment. Let us try to be in this space of openness, lightness, ease for the next 1 minute, simply watching and witnessing the breath, the sensations, and the thoughts. Let your breath and your awareness be the anchor which you use to establish yourself deeper and deeper into this feeling of spaciousness and ease as we go through today's session. You can gently bring your palms together in front of the chest. Rub your palms. Cup your eyes. Massage the eyes. And gently draw the palms away. Blink open your eyes, looking into the palms. And now relax your hands. So in today's session, we will have a meditation workshop. So we'll begin with some gentle stretches, and then we will practice the meditation techniques of Anapana and Vipassana, just getting introduced to them and trying them out. So we'll first begin with some stretches. Let's come into the seated wide-legged position first. Take your time, find this position and try to keep your back straight, keep your legs engaged. So see if you can keep the ankles engaged. It's okay to keep the knees bent if it's needed. Then we'll intertwine the fingers. This is called Chakki Chalanasana. The elbows are straight. So this is also called stone grinder pose. Inhale first. As you exhale, lean forward. Then move to one side, lean back, inhale, and exhale, complete the circle. Keep moving like this. Try to make a big circle. You can visualize there is a stone grinder in front of you. Let the movement come from your hips. And you can check your breath. You should be exhaling when you come forward, inhaling when you lean back. One last round. When you finish, we will reverse the direction. Breathing will stay the same. Try to keep the legs gently engaged. Last 3 rounds. And once you finish, place your palms behind you, fingers pointing forward, and just shake it out. Move the knees. Breathe. Now, we'll come into Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Sit up straight. Intertwine the fingers. Wrap it around the feet. Pull your feet close. Straighten the spine. And slowly flap your legs. Take your attention to the hips and notice how much mobility and openness there is. If you practice this posture regularly, you will notice the hips are opening up, which means the range of motion is increasing. You can move the leg more. Now stop the movement, release the hands, and now draw one leg in. So the heel will come all the way back to the perineum, and we'll move into rock the baby, another hip opening stretch. So for this one, you hold your one of the foot with the opposite palm like this, and then the knee with the same hand, and lift your leg up. This is one option. Now, if you wish to get a deeper stretch, see if you can allow the foot to go into the crease of the elbow, wrapping your hand around, like this, intertwining the fingers. So both options are fine. See which one works for you. Now, before you begin, try to straighten the spine, lift the leg up slightly more, and then we move from side to side. Breathe. You can see why it's called rock the baby. Again, range of motion is key. Keep breathing. Try to keep the back and the shoulders relaxed. Sometimes it's hard to do that when you're carrying the weight of the leg, but try to keep bringing more and more ease. Now slowly stop the movement and release the leg. Take a moment to shake it out, and now switch legs. So draw the other heel all the way in, and then the opposite leg. You can choose holding the foot with your palm or wrapping your hand around. Before we begin, take a moment. Straighten the spine, lift the leg up slightly more, bringing it close to the chest, and then begin. You can instantaneously see some improvement in the range of motion if you just breathe more, take your attention to the hip, keep relaxing the body and the muscles, and you will see that the body gives way for a deeper movement. Always keep trying to maximize your range of motion. Now stop the movement slowly, release the leg, sit down comfortably. And you might notice some tension in the arms, so we'll just work on that now. Stretch your arms in front of you, spread the fingers wide, make a fist. Inhale, open, exhale, fist. Keep going like that. This time when you make a fist, keep it like that. As you start doing some wrist rotations, just start opening your arms. Keep going until the chest opens up, shoulder blades are squeezing. And now stop here. Reverse the direction of your wrist movement and bring your hands back up slowly. Breathing comfortably all the way through. Now open your palms, palms facing towards each other. And we do the same movement, but this time with inhalation, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, exhale. Now stop here. This time we'll do the same movement, but we'll slow down the movement and therefore also slow down the rate at which we are breathing. So slowly inhale. Slowly exhale. One more time. Exhale. Release. Place your palms on the knees, some shoulder rolls, lift the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades, bring it down, complete the circle. Breath movement matching with the body movement. Inhale when the shoulders go up, exhale when they come down. Reverse the direction. Last round. Finish up. And we finish the movement or the stretching sequence with lateral stretches and twist. So as you inhale, lift your hands up. As you exhale, bring the left hand down and lean over to the left side. How much ever the body wants. I have placed my forearm down, but you need not do it. You can keep it like this. Whatever gives you a nice stretch. So your stretch should be felt in the opposite side of the rib cage. And it should be comfortable. It shouldn't be like you're forcing yourself and you need to get out after a few seconds. Just breathe. Next inhalation, come up. Exhale, other side. Inhale. Exhale, twist on the left side. Your right hand comes towards the left knee. Try to look back. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, relax. Take your time. Finish the rounds that you're doing. Before we take a break and move into meditation, let's just do a quick round of neck rolls on both sides. So just moving your neck in all the directions slowly and mindfully. And then reverse the direction. Now we'll just take a break of few seconds. You can drink some water if you want. Take your time. Settle down in a comfortable seated position, conducive for stillness and meditation. Today we will learn two techniques, the technique of Anapana and the technique of Vipassana. But both the techniques are quite detailed. And so we'll just get a glimpse of it, a small introduction, and we will try them out. Both the techniques are said to be the meditation techniques that were taught by the Buddha. And just to give you a little bit more of an introduction, there is a precursor to both of the techniques called the precepts. So we take a few precepts in order to live morally, you could say, or keep the body and mind clean in order to get the real benefit of these practices. So the first technique is called Anapana, which is a precursor to Vipassana. So in Anapana, we learn how to observe the breath. And through the observation of breath, we learn how to focus or concentrate the mind in one point. So, which point is that? I'll tell you. First, we begin by just watching the breath. And when I say watching, we literally feel the inhalation and exhalation going in the nostril and coming out of the nostril. And we feel it in this area. So, just the area below the nose and above the upper lip. That's where we feel the movement of breath. So, let's try this out together. I'll continue giving instructions. You can close your eyes if you want. Back is straight. One of the most important aspects of this meditation is that we keep the breath natural. So we are not inhaling and exhaling forcefully or even elongating the inhalations or exhalations. We are just letting the body be. The breath is just happening on its own, however shallow or deep the breath is. Our job is to focus all of our attention under the nostrils and feel the air going in and out at that place. The idea here is to feel the sensations that are produced by the movement of the breath or the movement of air. When air goes inside the nostrils and comes out, the touch of air to the skin brings some subtle sensations, and that is what we are trying to pay attention to. Keep trying and notice how long you can keep your attention on this spot. Notice how long you can keep feeling the breath go in and out before you get drawn by the mind or any other sensations in any part of the body. It might be a sensation of pain or discomfort. Unless it's sharp pain, try not to pay attention to anything else and keep bringing your attention back to this area under the nostrils. Gently, you can blink open your eyes. And while I give a few additional pointers, see if you can continue feeling this breath going in and out as you listen to me. So A couple of things that you can do if this is difficult. Sometimes when we begin practicing this, it's hard to focus the mind over there. So, a couple of things that you can do to help. First thing is you can count your breath. So, if you're focusing your mind here, one inhalation and exhalation can be one count, and see if you can go from 1 to 10 and from 10 to 1. That can be the first goal. And let's say you go from 1, 2, 3, slowly you go up to, let's say, 7 or 8, but you lose count and you get distracted by your thoughts. Then you begin with 1 again. So that way you can keep a track of how long you're able to focus your mind there. Secondly, sometimes the breath becomes very subtle, the natural breath. So, and you don't feel anything over there. So, in that case, you take a deep breath in between. Like when you take a deep breath, you feel the sensation strongly. And then, once the sensation is there, take your attention to the sensation and then let the breath become natural again. So, those are some tools that we can use in case we need them. Let's try again for a couple of minutes to just bring all the attention under the nostrils. Complete stillness in the body. Air is moving in and out. And the awareness is watching it. The mind might do whatever it wants to do. You need not pay attention to it. If you get drawn into thoughts, take a deep breath and go back to feeling the sensations. Remember that you can always count your breath. If you feel like you're not able to sustain your attention for too long, slowly blink open your eyes. Again, the practice will be to keep half of your attention on the breath and the half on the words. The next stage in this meditation technique is when we bring our attention or awareness even more focused, we make it even more focused. The whole point of this practice is that from the gross breath to the subtle breath to the subtle sensations, we keep focusing our attention in a very pointed way. So the next stage will be we just take our fingers. You can all try this. Take your right finger and just the little area of your fingertip, place it under the nose like this and above the upper lip. That little groove over there under the nostrils and above the upper lip, this little area is where we focus all of our attention to. So the idea is when we sit and watch this, we watch just this part of the body. And whatever sensation we feel over here, we pay attention to it. Any other sensation in any part of the body, we ignore it. You will feel it, of course. Let's say some sensation comes up in my arm. I will notice it, but just keep bringing your attention back to this area. Any sensation you feel here, it could be the touch of the breath going in and out. You just acknowledge that. You pay attention to that. So let's try this for the next couple of minutes. This is making our mind sharper and sharper for being able to practice Vipassana more efficiently. So we'll try this for a couple of minutes now. Whenever you're ready, close your eyes. Natural breath. Body is relaxed and active. Your complete attention is on the little area above the upper lip and below the nostrils. Do not be impatient. If there are no sensations, it's okay. Like a cat waiting outside a mouse hole, just watching and waiting. Simply watch and wait. Anytime any sensation occurs in that area, give it your full attention. Sometimes it might even happen that half of your attention is in that area and half of the attention is engaged in some kind of thought or commentary in the mind. When you realize this is happening, let go of the thoughts or the commentary and bring all your attention to this little area. Blink open your eyes slowly. This technique of watching the breath using the sensations in this area is called Anapana. This was a very quick summary. There are other subtle steps involved, but this you can keep practicing, and I assure you that you will feel sensations in this area. And the more you practice, the longer you will be able to sustain your breath on able to sustain your attention on the breath. And now let's move into Vipassana, a quick introduction to Vipassana and why we practice this before Vipassana. So, Vipassana is a technique in which we move our attention from the crown of the head, systematically scanning different parts of the body, going all the way down to the toes, and then systematically coming back up all the way to the crown of the head. And in this manner, we keep going from the top of the head down to the foot. The important aspect in Vipassana is to be able to experience these sensations or watch these sensations in an equanimous manner. Equanimity is the state of being neutral or balanced. So, whatever the sensation is, it could be pleasant or unpleasant, you watch it with this wisdom in your heart and your mind that this is simply a sensation which has arisen and will pass away. Instead of labeling it as good or bad, or instead of reacting it as if it were good or bad, just watching it for what it is, a sensation. So that is the reason, that is what we do in the practice. And the reason why we do that is when we experience anything in life, let's say something comes in front of me and I develop some kind of craving towards it or an aversion towards it, or I have any kind of judgment towards it. Whatever the mental process it is accompanied by a sensation in the body. We are just not aware of that sensation because those sensations are subtle and we are not paying attention. But by practicing this, just watching all kinds of sensations in an equanimous manner, when something happens in life and a reaction is in the form of a sensation, we have already trained our mind to be able to watch this sensation equanimously in a neutral way, rather than getting drawn into, oh, this is so bad or this is so good. So, this way, all the preferences that we have built up in our mind through the conditioning, we can slowly start to come out of this. So, that's the meditation technique of Vipassana in a gist. We will practice it together. And before we begin, why did we do this, the Anapana, where we focused our attention on this little area? Because just like we brought all the attention to this little point, now we will take the same attention to the top of the head. And as I name the different body parts, you bring all of your attention to that part. So by practicing it over here and feeling the sensation here, we are training the mind that wherever I take my mind, I can feel the sensation in that spot. And so this might require some more practice, but today let's just try out what the practice of Vipassana looks like. Take your time if you need to make any adjustments. Settle down again in a meditative, still pose. Breath is flowing in and out naturally. And now bring all of your attention to the crown of the head. Stay there and feel any sensations that might arise. The sensations can be subtle And the sensation can be anything: a touch, a tingling sensation, the feeling of scratching, itching, a gentle pain, some discomfort, some vibration. All of these different names that I'm taking are simply labels, but in the end, it is just a sensation. So, from the crown of the head, slowly start moving your attention to different spots in the scalp region. Acknowledge any sensation that you might feel in your scalp. Now bring your attention to the forehead and slowly and carefully scan the forehead. If you stay here long enough, or if you try this enough times, the forehead is one of the places where you will begin to feel sensations very soon. Especially the center of the forehead, where both the breaths from the right and the left side, they become one. It is the point where the inhalation ends and the exhalation begins. Slowly bringing the attention down to the eyebrows, the temple, eyelids and eyelashes, the nose, go at your own pace. And everywhere you go, stay there for a few seconds, wait for a sensation. If there is a sensation, take your attention to it. If there isn't, no problem. Move on. Through more and more practice, the sensations will appear quickly. Towards the cheeks now. Upper lip and lower lip. Ears. Chin. Neck. Side of the neck. Back of the neck. Before we move on, see if you can take your attention to the whole of the head region, the face region and the head region, and acknowledge any sensation there might be in any of these parts. Moving on to the right shoulder. Slowly bring your attention down the upper arm, to the elbow, down the forearm, to the wrists, palms, back of the palms, fingers and fingertips. Your palm and the fingertips are again places where the sensations can be felt easily. If you just wait over there, you can start feeling some kind of tingling, some energy, the feeling of aliveness. Just pay attention to those sensations. And similarly, on the left shoulder, move your attention down the upper arm, to the elbow, down the forearm, wrist, palm, back of the palm, fingers and fingertips. Before we move on, take your attention to both of the arms, from the shoulders to the fingertips. Acknowledge any sensations. With the discretion, with the wisdom, these are just sensations. Arising and passing away is their nature. Impermanence is their nature. Similarly, moving the attention down the chest, torso, abdominal region, belly, hips, taking the attention back to the top of the spine and slowly moving down the spine, upper back, lower back, all the way to the tailbone. Moving to the right leg, from the right hip, scan your thigh, right knee, right leg, all the way down to the right ankle, right foot, sole of the foot, toes, left hip, left thigh, left knee, down the left leg, up to the ankle, and the left foot, sole of the foot, and the toes. So we went from top of the head all the way down to the toes in a slow and systematic manner, keeping the attention at different parts, examining, waiting for a sensation, and then moving on. In this way, we keep going from top to bottom, bottom to top, and keep building this strength of equanimity, of neutrality, of balance. And this way, we weaken the mind's preferences or tendencies to create craving and aversion. So, this is a quick summary of the technique of Vipassana. There are many subtle and detailed steps involved. Perhaps in the coming meditation workshops, we'll cover them more. You can blink open your eyes for now. Before we finish the class, I would just like to give one more tip before, if you plan to practice this technique on your own. So, one way to visualize this is to imagine a ring of awareness. So, for example, I'm scanning my arm. You can imagine that there is a ring of awareness around here, and this ring is slowly moving down. So this visualization helps me a lot, and you can visualize this anywhere. So like if I'm examining my face, there is a ring of awareness which slowly moves down. And by visualizing that, you will notice that you can feel the sensations. So we will end the class here because of the time constraints. But if you have some time after this, you can continue sitting and trying to bring your attention back up. So you examine one leg, then the other, then the torso, back, one arm, then the other arm, and go all the way up to the crown of the head. Let's finish with just a moment of silence, a moment of gratitude, and a moment of conscious breathing. We'll finish the class by saying namaste, namaste, and thank you for joining the class today. I'll see you in the next class.